Jerry Sandusky has been sentenced today to a minimum of 30 years in prison. His sentence will be somewhere between 30 to 60 years in prison, but it doesn't matter because he's about 68 years old, and at this point he will serve the rest of his life in prison. However, he continues to maintain his innocence. He released a 3-minute recording where he talks about the sentencing and he talks about how this was all just a big ploy against him. Let's listen.
Over and over I asked why. Why didn't we have a fair opportunity to prepare for trial? Why have so many people suffered as a result of false allegations? I would cherish the opportunity to become a candle for others as they have been a light for me. They can take away my life. They can make me out as a monster. They can treat me as a monster, but they can't take away my heart. In my heart, I know I did not do these alleged disgusting acts.
Yeah, now don't talk about your heart, man. Don't. Just shut up. Just shut your mouth and stop existing in the field of other people's recognition, right? So slink away. Look, you got caught. You've done terrible, terrible things. You should admit it. You should confess. Fine. You're not confessing. I got it. And my guess is as to why he's not confessing is because he's been lying to his wife, who's been through all this with him, and he doesn't want to confess to her and say, oh, I've been lying to you, honey, and I made you out to be a fool. You supported me all along, but in fact, I was doing terrible things to those kids. But shut up already about it. Don't put out tapes about your goddamn heart.
So an interesting question came up earlier today, and I think that it's interesting to share with the audience. If we knew what we know about Jerry Sandusky today, but we knew 30 years ago, we could predict what was going to happen, and we had the choice to murder him, okay? Okay, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about it. We have the option to murder him. No one finds out about it. No one gets harmed in the process. He doesn't have the ability to do what he has done to all of these victims. Would you pull that trigger? Would you murder him?
Now, this is obviously theoretical, hypothetical. Don't ever do anything like this in real life. Of course, of course, of course. But it's an interesting moral conundrum. So when we have an interesting moral conundrum on the Young Turks, what do? We ask, what would Jesus do? And by the way, one of the other things he just said in the tape was that he blamed one of the victims.
Yeah. Fuck Jerry Sandusky.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
To go and blame one of the victims and say that this was like a concerted effort to destroy your reputation and your career. Really? All of these people got together and for no reason at all, unprovoked, they made up this story so they could throw you in prison.
It's even a little worse than that. He said, he did it for the drama. Like he's a drama queen. This guy is accused of untold numbers of child rape, okay? Okay, so now, Jesus, you don't have to go find a bat or anything like that. Nothing like that. This is a crazy hypothetical. You push a button, 30 years ago, Jerry Sandusky dies on the spot of a heart attack.
It's a Jerry Sandusky drone strike.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, in a sense, right? And of course, this isn't how our Constitution works. This isn't how the real world works. You don't get to push a button. All this is obvious. I'm just saying a million times anyway. Now, would you do it?
I think it's pretty easy because his actions not only affected all the kids he did, the whole families, and the whole community. So I think it's pretty easy for me to push a button for a person like that. So.
Yeah, now look, we don't give the death penalty for child molestation. On the other hand, you could stop at least 45 counts of it.
Yeah.
Oof. I'm curious what Dave would do. Dave, it'd be on your hands. I don't know how you feel about that, but if you're the one who pushed the button, you're the one who ended his life. Do you do it?
You've divorced it so much from reality with all your disclaimers. It doesn't. I don't even know how to process this question. I don't know.
No. Okay, here, let's see. He'd be dead. He's walking along, and then bam, gone. Okay, his wife is upset. They have the funeral. His kids are upset. He's dead. You killed him. Okay, but you saved those kids from horrible child rape. We believe.
Yeah, and it's so easy to say, yeah, I would do it. But all right, what if I go home and I'm at a 7-Eleven and I see a 30-year-old man in there and the little voice says, this guy's going to molest 45 kids in the next 30 years. I wouldn't kill that man in the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, of course, because there's a voice in your head. I hope you don't kill that poor guy. Then we're going to push a button for you. And it becomes just like that thing that you hear. Okay.
Never mind the voice in my head. I'm re-proposing Anna's question again for the guy who I see in the store later tonight.
Uh-huh.
No, I wouldn't kill him.
Okay, all right, that's a no. There you go. Anna?
I'm actually going to side with Dave Kohler.
Really? I'm really surprised by that. Okay.
I would feel uncomfortable. Look, first of all, I would need to be 100% sure, and I don't know what would need to happen in order for me to be 100% sure that this guy is actually going to do what.
Well, in this case, he was convicted, so we know that in hindsight. We're not guessing. It's not a voice in our head. Now, it doesn't mean that he is guilty. He still says he's innocent. I mean, I guess maybe there's a 1% chance, 2% chance.
I'm torn on this because I don't believe in vigilante justice, right? I don't feel that it is my responsibility or my obligation to take someone else's life. But at the same time, I think about those victims and I feel guilty not pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
and not
you're
doing anything
taking
about
a
it.
moral action either way. That's why this hypothetical question is interesting. It's not about vigilante justice.
Exactly.
It's about making sure those kids don't suffer that.
Right.
But at the same time, you're killing that guy.
At the end of the day, I'm too chicken shit to take someone else's life.
Wow, that's interesting.
I don't think that I could do it.
But ironically, that's a brave admission. Now, which way would I go? What? Oh,
of course!
wait, where was the button? Whoa, Sickton, what happened? Oh, yeah, there he goes, isn't it? Okay, so Mark Register, for the first time ever, appearing on TRT Supreme Court as the deciding vote. New director for a little while here. He runs all the tech here, but directing the shows now. Yes, Mark. Deciding vote. End of this. Okay, Mark, not very vocal, but but very clear. So we do have a decision, 3-2. We say push the button, but it's just a question to think about, obviously. Should I repeat again that it's theoretical?
Yes, yes.